You've heard of Pearl Harbor, but this attack happened 25 years earlier. A blast so powerful, witnesses said the ocean itself stood up and then vanished. You're about to learn how a single mistake created the largest man-made explosion before the atomic bomb and almost erased an entire city from the map. You think you know American history? Think again. If you spot any mysterious detail in this story, comment it below. Let's see who catches the hidden clues. On the icy morning of December 6, 1917, Halifax, Nova Scotia woke up like any other day. Children walked to school, workers prepared the docks, and American relief ships sat anchored nearby, because Halifax was the key supply route between the US and Europe during World War I. But deep inside the harbor, two ships were already on a deadly collision course. One of them carried Christmas supplies, food, and simple goods. The other, a floating bomb. The French cargo ship SS Mont Blanc carried TNT, picric acid, benzol, and thousands of artillery shells, enough explosive power to level an entire city block. Yet nobody knew, because the ship wasn't flying the mandatory danger flag. And that single decision sealed the fate of thousands. At 8:45 a.m., the Mont Blanc collided with the Norwegian ship SS Imo. To the people watching from the harbor, it looked like nothing serious, a minor ship accident. But then they saw flames. Thick black smoke spiraled into the sky as the benzol caught fire. Crowds rushed toward the docks. Workers, school children, shopkeepers, everyone wanted a closer look. They had no idea they were staring at a fuse. Inside the Mont Blanc, the fire raced across chemical barrels. Heat climbed beyond control, and the captain fled to shore, screaming one desperate warning. "Run! It's going to blow!" But nobody listened, because nobody understood what was coming. At 9:04 and 35 seconds, the world changed. A blinding white flash, a shockwave faster than sound, and then silence. The Halifax explosion unleashed energy equal to 2.9 kilotons of TNT, the size of a small nuclear weapon. Buildings disintegrated, people vanished, windows shattered 50 miles away. An entire neighborhood was erased in less than 2 seconds. Witnesses said the harbor floor was briefly exposed. The ocean literally lifted up and then collapsed in a tsunami that swallowed entire streets. A child was blown over a mile through the air and survived. A sailor's pocket watch froze at the exact millisecond of the explosion. A train dispatcher sacrificed his life to stop incoming trains and saved hundreds. This wasn't just a disaster. It was an event so shocking that scientists used it decades later to understand nuclear blast physics. But here's where things get strange. In the aftermath, survivors described something eerie in the sky, a dark cloud shaped like a mushroom, long before the world ever saw one in 1945. Some believed it was an omen. Others thought Halifax had been bombed by Germany. A few even insisted the sun turned black for a moment, leaving historians wondering if rare atmospheric effects occurred during the blast. And then there's the mystery that still puzzles researchers. Why did so many clocks across the city stop at the exact same second, 9:04 a.m.? Was it from shock waves, magnetic interference, or something else entirely? The explosion didn't just destroy a city, it created questions we still haven't answered. Entire families were gone. More than 1,900 people died instantly. Another 9,000 were injured, and thousands were left blind from shattered glass. But in the darkest hour, help came from an unexpected hero, the United States. When news reached Boston, American doctors, nurses, supplies, and rescue teams raced north through a brutal snowstorm. They worked around the clock, stitching wounds, clearing debris, and rebuilding the city. To this day, Halifax sends Boston a giant Christmas tree every year, a gift of gratitude for saving their people. A tragedy born from war had created a bond no war could ever break. But what happened next shocked everyone. Investigators tried to assign blame. Was it the Mont Blanc captain, the IMO's reckless speed, the harbor pilot, or the government's failure to label dangerous cargo? The truth is, every single mistake lined up perfectly, like a row of dominoes waiting for the final push. And one more mystery remains. Why did officials try so hard to hide the scale of the accident at first? Why were early reports censored? And why did some documents quietly disappear years later? Some believe it was to avoid international embarrassment. Others think the real reason was far more political. One thing is certain, the Halifax explosion wasn't just an accident, it was a warning the world ignored. This was just one forgotten disaster, one moment when a normal morning turned into something almost nuclear. And most Americans never hear the full story. But if this shocked you, if you love uncovering America's strangest and forgotten real histories, then trust me, you're going to want to see what's coming next week. Because there's another hidden American tragedy, even more mysterious and far more disturbing. Subscribe. You won't want to miss it.